Experts say many Americans know little about managing their money. Linda O'Brien discusses financial illiteracy and how to overcome it in today's Morning Monitor.
Mr. Siman, you have been discussing the issue of financial illiteracy. How serious is that problem?
We think it's a major problem here in America. In fact, the depths of the problem are mostly exemplified by how little we know about it.
What do you mean by financial illiteracy?
Financial illiteracy is simply the inability of most Americans to take control over their own personal finances because they don't have the basic skills to understand them.
And what are the skills that they need? Where can they get these skills?
Recent studies by even the Department of Education generally in the literacy area show that some 90 million Americans can't read their paycheck. We're talking about the basic elements of how to govern one's personal life in realm of finances, how to balance a checkbook, how to use a credit card, how to apply for a mortgage.
Should these be required courses in the schools?
I think that's a great place to start. We think that getting high school students started on understanding how they're going to work in the real world is very important.
What are some of the big mistakes investors make? 2 or 3?
Well, I think clearly one mistake is sort of in the realm of paralysis by analysis. They work so hard at figuring out which way to go that they end up often making no decision at all, which can provide disastrous results. They tend to be attracted to schemes that sound too good to be true and usually are too good to be true. And they tend not to make the most of their assets by letting dollars slide through their fingers instead of working for them.
What do you mean slide through their fingers?
Well, each of us has so many dollars pass through our hands every year from earnings, and we just don't seem to take control of those dollars and get them to work, sort of paying ourselves first.
Talking about basic savings.
Basic saving plans and investing schemes.
What about the Clinton administration? What should the savvy investor do, knowing some of the tax policies that are coming out of this administration?
I think we certainly are in a trend where the president has indicated that tax rates on the wealthy are expected to increase. There's been some discussion, although no definition, that estate taxes may be rising. I think investors have to be aware that if they don't take responsibility for protecting their own assets, if they don't plan for their own retirement, the government safety net will be thinner and thinner as time goes on.
What about interest rates rising? What would that do to the market, in your opinion, and mutual funds?
I think that most of the investors that have entered mutual funds are in for some type of a shock if interest rates rise too rapidly. We've seen some recent increases in interest rates short term, but I think the real interesting angle will be when they systematically begin to rise over time, what will happen to all those bond investors.
So very quickly, what can the investor do to guard against?
I'd be shortening up our maturities, looking for more balanced portfolios, remaining widely diversified, and not concentrating our assets in yield securities.
Thank you very much. Terry Siman.